I made this video specifically for you if you are a coach who wants so badly to be successful in business, to build a coaching business, but you feel like you are trapped in this never-ending cycle of continuous failure. If you feel that no matter what you do, no matter how many times you tell yourself, that's it, from this point, I'm going to start posting more content. From this point, I'm going to start contacting people. From this point, I'm going to follow my business plan step by step, only to find yourself a few weeks later on down the road to get again scared, anxious, to feel like nothing is working, to turn around and run away from your business. Now, if you think, who are you? Why should I listen to you? Then let me introduce myself. My name is Alexa. I'm a performance coach and an undergraduate psychologist, and I've been working in the past 3 years with athletes, helping them overcome their mental limiting beliefs so that they can perform at their best. And I helped dozens of athletes win multiple international titles. Now I'm taking the work that I applied in the sport, and I want to help coaches overcome their limiting beliefs so that they can grow their business, because I struggled with the same problems. I struggled to grow my coaching business because I was on this same pattern of continuous failure and self-sabotaging. Every time I found myself getting steps ahead with my business, I would freak out and turn around and run away. And a few years later on, I was waking up, holy moly, I've done it again. I need to start all over again. So in this video, I want to first explain how does continuous cycle of failure and self-sabotaging look like. The second step, we're going to understand where does it all coming from? What is affecting you specifically? And then finally, the third step will be to understand what you can do. Because yes, it's nice to talk about, yes, it's nice to have awareness, but we need to know, okay, so now what? What do I have to do? And in this video, at the end of it, I'll show you exactly step by step. There are 4 steps that you need to take. And also, I'm going to share with you a lovely tool that you can use it today to fast track your progress. And no, that's not a catch-up tool to sell you something. It's completely free. I'm not recording any personal details of yours. So, that being said, I want to share my screen with you so I can walk you through how does failure and self-sabotaging look like. Before I am presenting this, I also want to let you know that maybe just pause the video, grab a pen and paper and write this down, or maybe come back to them after you watch it, because these are very important for you to understand, because it will help you spot your behavior, to understand when it's starting, so you spot your behavior early on, and so you're not going to fall into this cycle of failure again. And if you recognize these characteristics in your behavior and actions that you've taken in the past, it will help you massively with the exercise that you can do that I'm going to present at the end of this video. So please, if you haven't done it so, pause the video, grab a pen and paper, and as I'm walking through, write them down. So how does it look like? Well, the first one, of course, the most obvious ones are the self-sabotaging and behavior blocks. And the biggest one out there is quitting as you see success. You start working on your business, you start posting content, you start getting into contact with potential clients. As you see success, as you see a form of success, as you see progress, you start working on things that don't matter, maybe adjusting the website, maybe creating another PDF, things that don't matter, or even worse, you're not doing anything. You don't feel like touching your phone, you don't feel like recording any content, you don't feel like doing any necessary work. Another one would be working below your potential. You know you're capable of doing more, but you say, oh, for example, if you're a coach and you know you can help people through your one-to-one and selling it as a high ticket, you believe that you're not that good enough and you just need to sell PDFs, to sell courses, because you're not that good to work one-to-one with others. Or the post-success hangover. When you have a form of success or a form of progress, something positive that happens in your business, it might take you days to process that. Afterwards, you feel like, was it good enough? Your nervous system feels attacked, feels like, yes, it was good, but I know that if something good happens, usually straight away something bad will follow. So you have this hangover feeling that you need to take days off of doing anything around your business. Chronic procrastination, this is big, everyone knows about it. It's easy to spot on. And chronic procrastination is not only showing by not doing things, but also by doing irrelevant things, keeping yourself busy with anything else apart from the must-dos for your business. Letting opportunities pass. If someone is approaching you for a collaboration, or if someone is asking you questions as a client and they want to sign for high-ticket coaching, you might think that it's not the right moment, you don't have enough skills, you're busy with other stuff and you don't have time, so on and so forth. So if you feel that you are experiencing any of these, write them down. We'll need them later on. Another one, the emotional one, the emotions trap, because most of the time it's our emotions that it's so hard to deal with, and we go and do something else to experience different emotions. So emotional processing and fears, your inability to sit with the uncomfortable emotions. That tightness in your chest, that anxiety, that fear of texting your clients or sitting in front of camera and recording content, the fear of the unknown, it's unbearable for you. And maybe you don't know, you don't have the skills to process these emotions. So to become aware that whatever you feel, it's a massive lie that your nervous system is telling to you, and you'll be okay as you go through this. And once at the end of when you come out on the other side of these emotions, magnifying faults and minimizing wins. You see, you pay attention to everything that can go wrong and all the things that went wrong. But when you have a win, a success, any small win, it doesn't really matter, or I was just lucky. Yeah. Hyper focus on negative features. Again, these tie together. You are just focusing on the negatives. You think that I just need to focus more and more on these negatives because I need to improve them. Or, yeah, I can sell high ticket, but I don't have this experience. I didn't work with enough clients. I'm not good enough. I can't speak on camera. I don't look good. I don't have the right tech like cameras, sound, so on and so forth. You're focusing on the negatives. Fear of success. This is big because your nervous system learned how to struggle, how to live in struggle your whole life. Learn that success means unknown and is so dangerous for you. Your nervous system learned that it has to be on defense all the time. It has to look out for negatives all the time. And being on the other side, being successful, it's attacking your nervous system, because yes, it is a massive unknown, but also you have exposure. You put yourself out there in front of other people. You can live not an easier life, but a bit of more comfortable life, which for your nervous system means unknown. It has never been there. So you prefer to self-sabotage, to procrastinate, to do other things so that you fail again and you're back to your normal patterns, to a normal survival mode that your nervous system learned to be in. Then fear of getting hopes up. This is something, all of them, but during childhood, parents and those around you promised every single time that we will go there, we will have this thing will happen, and every time you're met with disappointment. They could not keep their promises. And you learn that no matter what I've been promised, if something good can happen to me, I'm sure that I'll be disappointed. So what's even the point in trying to build my business because I know that I'll be disappointed? What's the point of going out and finding clients, building a big audience because I'll be disappointed? These people will leave again. Then relational and social dynamics. To build and grow and maintain a business, relationships are most important ones. You cannot build a business without having relationships. And this is shown as maybe you are allowing exploitation. Most coaches out there, especially when you start, especially if you struggle with the imposter syndrome, you think that I can't sell high ticket now. I can't sell my service for like over $100 yet. And you just keep believing that you need to sell on a smaller price, but you have to over deliver all the time. And you take on board clients who they want to pay as less as possible, but to get as much as they can out of you. They want you to be at their service non-stop. You have your one-to-one session with them, but then outside this call, they keep sending you text messages, voice messages, you call them, you speak with them, send them resources, so on and so forth. So you allow these people to take advantage of you. And then on the other side, you're rejecting the good treatment. If you have people around you who are noticing how you grow, how you develop, how, even when you post content, you're getting better at posting content. You think that they might have a hidden reason behind all this goodness, behind all this nice behavior. You think that they just want to get close to you because they want to take advantage of you. They want to gain something out of this relationship. It's not necessarily that you think this consciously, but for your subconscious mind, it feels like that. Then another behavior will be button pushing and provocation. You don't, this again, it happens, it's a subconscious behavior. You don't even realize that you're doing, but when you feel that people are getting close to you, they're helping you, they're there to support you, subconsciously you think that they might be there because they want to take advantage of you. And then through your behaviors, you start doing things that will push them away, that will annoy them, and you're doing repeatedly. And after that, this person goes away and you're upset. You sit down, you evaluate the situation, and you don't even know why you've done the thing. You realize that I really pissed off this person. Why did I say this? Why have I behaved like this? You don't even realize it, but you're pushing people away. Then you're resisting help. If you want to work with a coach, with a mentor, with someone else, they're giving you the plan and they say, okay, in between the sessions, let me know about your progress, if you have any struggles, how is it going? And then you take the plan, you go into applying it, but you feel anxious about doing the things, you feel stressed, you don't understand exactly what you have to do, and you don't really feel like asking for help because I might look stupid. People will think that if I'm asking for help, I don't understand, I'm not intelligent enough. And you're resisting help, you're resisting even asking your friends their opinion about the content that you're posting, about the program that you're selling, about your coaching, the way you speak, the way you look, the way you present yourself on the camera. And then social isolation. After everything happens, you just close yourself in and you prefer not to see and not to talk with anyone, not to post any content, not to make yourself available out there. And the final one is internal identity and mindset trap. Imposter syndrome, like I just mentioned. Inward facing anger and guilt. After you go through this cycle of destroying your business, you realize that what have I done? And then you're experiencing anger and guilt. And because you're experiencing this anger, you think, I'm not good enough, I'm not able to stick to a plan, what is wrong with me? So you go and you lean into other destructive behaviors. Then external image armor. You go on the other side. Internally, you don't feel successful, you don't feel like you have what it needs to build a business, but yet, if you're creating content, if you are, you have a friends around there, you feel ashamed saying that, do you know what, I'm actually, my business is going down, and you prefer to create this false image. Oh yes, I am successful. Oh yes, look at my latest watch, my latest car, my lovely house, and so on and so forth. You are creating an external image that protects you so others will not see that your business is actually collapsing. And then the rebel mask, usually it is when we say that I don't need to be one of them social influencers. I don't want to post so much content. I don't want to speak about my thing. I'm not an entertainer. I'm not someone that's constantly posting content. I just want to work with a few clients. Over 10K a month, that's a lie. They just want to sell you a program. I don't want to make 10K a month. I don't want to be like them. I'm comfortable with 4K a month as an income. is like a rebel. You're saying that, oh, other people, they're just fakes and lies. I prefer to stick with the minimum. I don't need all that. So again, if you'd like to, you can go back to the beginning and go through these characteristics again and write them down, see what applies to you, because they are very, very important for our exercise at the end of the video. Now, where it all started. I know that on the screen it might look like it's a lot of text. I'm gonna briefly go through them, but I also, if you find yourself that you experienced any of these events during your childhood and adolescence, because this is where it all started, you can stop the video and read the description. But like I said, all of this started during our childhood and adolescence, where we learn about ourselves and how the world around us functions, and then how we should behave in the world and how the world will treat us back. So during childhood, it could have been because you had a highly critical parent, one or both of them. No matter what you've been doing, no matter how hard you're trying to prove yourself, to show that you're capable of doing things, your parent always said that, what is that? What have you done? Not again. You're just a child. You're messy. You're this and that. Highly critical parent. Or it could have been an ultra successful parent or parents that would go out, have a really successful business or being successful at their job, promotions over promotions, and you felt like you could never raise up to their standards. They will always force you to do more, to do better, because that was their way of wanting to develop you so that you're a successful person, but you never felt like you're doing enough to prove yourself to be at their level. Or you've been threatened, or you have a threatened or a competitive parent. Every time you're successful, your parent didn't show much emotion. They thought that, oh, this is a normal thing. You should achieve this success. Or when you're successful, they criticize your success and you feel like threatened by this. And then this can happen a little bit later on in life, when you as a child, you start having some success. For example, if you practice a sport and you start becoming successful, and then with the team, you're supposed to move out of the city or to go out of the town, to compete in different places, and your parents start saying things like, but I'm your mom, I'll miss you so much if you're going away. What am I gonna do without you? You're my baby, I'm gonna suffer so much. A little bit as emotional manipulation, to say it so, but they were trying to compete with your success. Like, who are you gonna choose? Are you gonna choose me or to be successful out there? Unaddressed learning or physical differences. If you struggle with ADHD or short attention span, or you had some physical differences, like some days, because, I don't know, something around your body, you could not go to school. These learning differences, you could see yourself, you could not be part of other groups, that feeling like you belong in other groups. You feel like being humiliated, you feel like being pushed away out of groups, not belonging in groups with other peers, so on and so forth. Or you've been constantly compared negatively with your siblings. No matter what you do, still was not good enough. Your sibling was better all the time. Cultural or socio-economic isolation. Maybe as a child, your family moved in another country. You went to school, maybe you could not speak the language very good, or because your family was struggling financially, you could not integrate in other groups. All sorts of things that made you felt pushed away, not wanted, not belonging into any groups. Or no boundaries at home. Your parents said, do whatever you do. You come from home, do you want to watch Netflix? Watch Netflix. Do you want to have a messy dinner? Go and have a messy dinner. There was no schedule for when you should do your homeworks, for when you should watch telly, for when you should go and play with your friends. Absolutely no schedule, no routine. And therefore, later on in life, because of this was the link, later on in life, you struggle to stick to one thing because there was no schedule. You could do whatever you want. You could move from one thing to another. Later on in life, you feel like doing the same. You cannot stick to one job. You cannot stick to building one business that serves one specific type of client. You start and building different businesses, or you think of different projects at one time. You have to be in different places all the time. Now, another one is the psychological programs. You, unfortunately, maybe at home, you had a domestic cycle of violence. One or both parents, they were very violent and dangerous, and or maybe they were going through a few weeks or months of loving each other, being calm and happy at home, to weeks of completely arguing, not talking to each other. And you learned as a child that if things are going well for a while, surely something bad and negative will happen after. So in the business, that's why as you start seeing success, your subconscious mind expects that after this short burst of success, something bad and negative will happen, and I can't cope with the emotions. Damaged hope. Like I said, your parents, your family kept promising things and they never fulfilled their promises. And you learn that what's the point me contacting with clients, having people tell me that I'm good, they want to work with me, because they'll never turn up to the session, they'll never sign the contract, they'll never pay me. Accumulated inward guilt. Maybe as a child you were blamed for the things that you haven't done because your parents never had the patience to actually sit down and listen to you, to look at what actually happened. It was actually your fault. You didn't know how to do things, or something else just happened. Things happen. It's not your fault. You were just there at the wrong time. And therefore, later on in life, you learn that, well, what's the point explaining to myself? What's the point trying to build something, because I will ruin it anyway, and I'll be blamed for it even if it's not my fault. Addiction to chaos. Like I said earlier, no, your parents, they're going through times of being nice and loving each other to hating and shouting at each other, or your parents were addicted to this chaos, going from one job to another, having chaotic time schedule at home, not having a routine at home. This major nervous system learned that it has to be a constant chaos in my life, because I don't know what calm means. I don't know what focusing on one single task at a time it means. I have to be in a constant movement all the time. Failure treated as identity, not as an event. If you're making mistakes, small or big, at school, at home, when you're playing with kids, you're blamed for the mistake, but you're also punished. And you learn that I am a failure. It's not that something that it just happened not to work out, but I am the failure. And the same in the business, when you start working on a project and if it's not working as you want, instead of adjusting the project, you think that I'm not good enough for this thing. So you just leave it out. I'm not good enough to create content. I don't know how to speak on the camera, so it's me that's a failure. It's not that I need to learn the skill, but I'm a failure. I'm not going to be good enough at this. So I'm not going to start creating content. Okay? Affection conditioned on defeat. Like I said earlier, your parents said every time when you did something good, you have been successful, your parents treated that as this is the norm. It should be like this. Why are you expecting praise? But then when something negative would happen, if you are hurt, if something negative happened, usually your parents will come and cuddle you and what happened, what's going on. And you learn that you only get attention when something bad happens. So therefore, every time your business runs smoothly and you have success, subconsciously you turn to self-sabotage, because pain and hurt means that you will get attention and love. Dogmatic core shaming. This is around religion. If your family was super religious, saying that being successful, money is the root of evil, so on and so forth, you learn that it's not good to have a successful business. The pain love tangle, when a parent was too harsh with you and saying that, no, I'm rigid, I'm harsh because you need to run the right way. This is me showing love to you. This is not me punishing you. This is not me being harsh with you, but this is love because you have to be this way. The illusion of control. Like I said, success means unknown. Running a business, building success means that you have to deal with the unknown. Unknown, it's uncontrollable. You cannot control it. And therefore, when you seek success, you think that I don't know how to deal with all of this, so I'm gonna self-sabotage, and then if I fail, at least I know that it is because I have done it on my own. And because I've lived so many times in this emotion, and my nervous system is accustomed to failure, at least I know how to control it. I turn into unhelpful behaviors, self-sabotaging, and therefore this becomes controllable, and you are again in the familiar. Again, this doesn't happen consciously. You don't turn like, oh, there you go, I gained 2 clients this week, let me not do the work from tomorrow. It happens at a subconscious level. And then the last one, the biochemical opioid release. Opioids are released in our body when we sense that there is a massive danger around us that can potentially harm and hurt us, but we don't have the skills to fight. So we freeze, and when we freeze, because we expect something to hurt us, so this is how the body works biologically, because we expect something to hurt us, the heart slows down and stops pumping a lot of blood to our extremities just in case we're hurt and cut, we're not losing too much blood. And everything gathers around here. And opioids are released in the body because if you're cut, if you punch, if you're hurt, you don't feel the pain as much. So when you feel that your environment can hurt you and you can experience the same pain again and again and again, because you don't want, your body cannot take the same level of pain, it releases these opioids in the body, and then you can't even think clearly when this happens, and you prefer not to expose yourself out there. You just hide. You stop texting, stop posting content, stop talking to your clients, stop replying to messages, emails, so on and so forth. Okay, this was long, but again, if you find yourself in any of these, pause the video, go back and maybe read again through this, or listen to what I explained. I try not to make it too long because otherwise the video will take hours. But the third part now, what now? What should you be doing at this point? So, like I said, it's a 4-step plan, and it starts with creating a healthy self-concept. Self-concept, it's the way you see yourself right now holistically. Now, the trouble is, if through childhood and adolescence we experienced any of those from above, from here, that I just went through, most certainly you have a damaged self-concept. So you have to reevaluate and become conscious. When you write your self-concept, you'll write it from an emotional perspective. If you want to create a healthy self-concept, you have to become rational, to think about it, to think in the past, to see yourself through your past actions, achievements, success, relationships, so on and so forth. If you want help with creating this healthy self-concept, to fast-track things for you so you're not feeling stuck, how am I going to create a healthy self-concept? In the description, I'm attaching a link to our self-concept, healthy self-concept exercise. Like I said, I'm not collecting any personal details. You go through the exercise, you have to input your current self-concept, the way you see yourself currently, and then you receive prompts what to do next. It takes about 10 minutes to do this whole exercise. You will not receive an email with your results. Your results will not be saved. So once you get the results, make a screenshot or write them down, however you prefer, because nothing will be saved. As soon as you're out the page, they will be gone. Why we want to create a healthy self-concept? Because if your self-concept it is damaged, if you don't see yourself through a clear lens to see that you have the skills, the ability to progress in the business, you are the person that can overcome challenges, that can overcome all these negative experiences that you've been in the past, that to think of yourself like, do you know what? Yes, I might have had a harsh childhood. Yes, I might have been told that I'm not good. I'm not. I don't speak clearly. I'm not this, and that. Do you know what? From this point, I can change myself. I can become the version of myself that I want to become, so I can run a successful business and myself to be successful. Without a healthy self-concept, you cannot. You can't even follow a detailed business plan, because when it comes about taking action, your nervous system, it will be triggered, and through your subconscious beliefs, you start leaning into the unhealthful behaviors again, taking the wrong actions, so on and so forth. So once you create a healthy self-concept, you have to identify patterns. You have to look in the past and see, when was it that you started the project? What was you doing? What was the point where things were started going down? What were you doing to deal with those situations? And how your cycle of failure look like all the time. Now, identifying triggers and patterns can be any of these up here. That's why I said write them down, because these will be part of your patterns and triggers. Every time you have a sense of imposter syndrome, or every time you take a client who just wants to pay less, if you say to your client that, you know what, working with me costs $500 a month, and the client says, oh, do you know what, that's a little bit too expensive, I can only afford $250, would you do that? Sure, of course, 50% off for you today if you sign up today. Yeah, so look at these kind of patterns and triggers. Also, when you look through the past experiences, this can also be part of your triggers. When you find yourself in similar situations, or having interactions with similar people. And then the fourth step is to write your emergency plan. Now that you have a healthy self-concept, do you know what? This is me. Looking at my past success, my past experiences, I didn't even realize that, do you know what? I can actually speak on the camera because I've done so many times content. And yes, while I received some not so nice comments, I still recorded the video. I can do it. I can create. Yeah. So once you have your healthy self-concept, once you identify patterns and you know, okay, every time I do this, this happens, but it's only because my subconscious mind runs based on an old program, then now I know when to spot these patterns. And because I know my triggers, I know that when this thing happens, when this event happens as a pattern, then this will trigger my nervous system to behave, to act, to say, do things based on my old program. Now, what should I be doing now if I want to be successful, if I want to come off the failure cycle? What would be my new behavior? What would be my new actions based on your healthy self-concept? If you think of yourself that you are an experienced coach who can speak on camera, who knows a lot in your industry, and if you know that you've been on the camera before, my new behavior would be, okay, every time I'm getting ready to record a video, I start having this massive anxiety and tightness in my chest, and I cannot speak, I can't focus. What would be my new behavior? Well, I'm going to take 5 minutes, I'm going to look at my new self-concept, I'm going to think about what do I want to achieve in the future, and I'm going to start looking at the moments when I create content. It's me helping my clients. It's me speaking with the version of me that I was before. See it from this perspective. So in your emergency plan, write the pattern when things happens. This triggers my nervous system, and now I will do this. This is your emergency plan. The more you stick, I recommend you get a notebook and write all this in your notebook and keep it with you on your desk. If you travel, with you all the time. If you work from coffee shops, take it with you all the time, because your emergency plan has to be with you. You cannot think clearly to behave, to take action based on emergency plan when you are in that moment, when your nervous system is triggered already. You'll not be able to think clearly. That's why you need a book with you, so you know, okay, this is my plan. I don't have to think it through. I'm just doing it. That's all for today. I hope that you find this video helpful. And if you did, please like and subscribe the video, and I'll upload more videos around this subject, around how our childhood, how our attachment style affect the way we grow our business and the way we do business. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.